And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here. Day 3 winter meetings. One big deal happened. Giants got on the whole Rule 5 draft. As a matter of fact, I think they were the only club to pick a position player during the Rule 5 draft. Looks like Giants got a backup catcher, Daniel Susac, who was drafted by the Oakland Athletics. Well, at the time, it was the Oakland Athletics. And yeah, there you go. That is it. That is it thus far for the San Francisco Giants. Doesn't mean that it's over. Look, typically winter meetings, there's not a lot. Sometimes there is, like when Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, when they were out there, the winter meetings were pretty busy. Last year's winter meetings, I'm trying to remember how that one went down. That was Roki, right? I can't remember who else went. Adames, of course, that one went quick. So there was a little bit more action in the last winter meetings. But again, a lot of this stuff is going to take time, especially for trades. And then, of course, free agent. But the big news today, Pete Alonso doesn't wear the orange and black, but he's going to wear the black and orange. Signed a contract with the Baltimore Orioles, 5 years, $155 million. Man, I tell you, New York Mets have had a go of it. I see Aaron in there. Mark, maybe he'll show up a little bit later. You guys lost Diaz. You guys have lost Alonso. Again, I say you lost because I don't know how involved the Mets were in wanting to get either player. I think they're a little bit more interested in Diaz than they were with Alonso. I don't think they wanted to go 5 years with Alonso. That's interesting. But hey, I'll give Baltimore Orioles credit, man. They're wanting to spend some money to make their team better. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, guys. And just so you guys know, Glenn will not be with he is knee deep. Even though it's not my knee, he is knee deep in paperwork with his radio station stuff. It's the end of the year stuff, and he's trying to get all that stuff squared away. So again, Glenn will be back with us on Friday. And we'll have a little special. I got a little special video out there. If you guys have been, of course, those of you who are subscribed, you guys probably already saw the video, but I'll be playing it again from now until Friday. And then we'll do it also through the 12 days of Christmas. So we'll see what's up with that. Armand, check your email, Armand. Yes, the Orioles, Joe Schmo. That is where Pete Alonso has decided to go. Look, we still got some big guys out there. Kyle Tucker is out there. As far as Giants news, of course, I hate saying this. Giants fans, you guys are very well aware of the Giants are in on such and such player. Well, supposedly, the Giants are in on trade talks with Freddie Peralta. We'll see how that goes. I saw something where the Giants were looking at Edward Cabrera from the Miamis, but I think the words that they used were prohibitively expensive. Forget it. He's cost too much. He costs too much. So, yeah, that's what it is. No, he is not on TV, Randy. Anyways, So that's what's going on today. Not a whole lot. I mean, I see Armand in the green room. We'll bring him up here in a short bit, and we'll talk, because that's kind of the big news, right? It's more about what the Mets have lost than what they have gained. What's up, Lou? What's up? And yeah, Lou was on here last night. He talked about he thinks that the Orioles are going to make a big move for an arm and a bat. And they did. Armand, as a matter of fact, when I bring him in, he was also in the chat saying that Pete Alonso would probably be going to the Baltimore Orioles. So there you have it, guys. That's crazy, isn't it? I did not foresee the Baltimore Orioles shelling out that kind of money. I just didn't. Cavity says a lot of guys got high prices right now. That's true. It's going to be interesting to see where all these other guys are going to sign. Kyle Tucker, supposedly there's a bunch of teams in on him, whatever that means. I got a feeling that that's going to stretch out a little bit too. What's up, Isabel? Mets have been trying to get rid of Alonso for a year. Yeah, I think they have. Yep. All right, without further ado, we bring in Lou. What's up, Lou?
Hey, guys. Sorry about that. I tried to sign on, and then all of a diagnostic test. I mean, it was like, what the hell's going on? It should take 10 seconds, but it took 5 minutes, so I apologize for being late.
Hey, no, it's all good.
I knew Glenn wasn't going to be on, so I should have been here a little bit early. I dropped the ball.
Hey, it's all good. You will not be reprimanded, Lou. You're all good to go here. Hey, but I was just talking about it. You called it yesterday. The Orioles are probably going to go out there and get a big bat and a big arm. Well,
yep.
There you go. They got a big bat in Pete Alonso.
And now, if you're a Mets, it's sort of funny. If you're a Mets fan, how do you feel?
We're going to find out soon.
Last year, but you lose a reliever, who was 24 for 27 save, possibility. And you let one of your own go when you have a guy that's got money up the yin-yang. So unless, they got something up their sleeve, that's sort of a huge loss, especially when it's one of your own. So I was, but, we predicted it here on Giant Sports Talk Live. Like, it's one of those things where, sometimes you get a feeling. And, the thing about the Orioles, too, is they signed him and they got so much youth surrounding him. They're thinking about now where you got a mentor. And, if they can ever get these young guys to the ability of the major leagues, they'll be right back in the East. I mean, you remember last year how many times, God, they have so many guys in the minors. They have 2 catchers. They have all this stuff. So, it's one of those things where sometimes you're getting a veteran for the right reasons. And
that's a good point. I like that veteran move because that's what Pete Alonso is, right? He's going to come in there with those young guys and say, hey, guys, come on. This is what it's going to be about. Yeah, I like that. That was good stuff. That was good.
I think a big move for them.
Well, I tell you what, they didn't get rid of him. They just didn't bring him back. He was a free agent, San Jose Sharks. That's the reason why he was. I hear what you're saying. And look, where are the Mets going to go? Well, let's find out. Let's bring in Armand and see what he has to say. What is up, Armand? Our resident Mets fan. So,
how are you?
What do you think? Let me hear what's been going down in New York, specifically in Queens.
Oh, Mets Twitter went straight to, you thought it was an earthquake yesterday. It went straight to hell today. And it didn't go to hell because Alonso signed with another team. It really went to hell when it came out that the Mets did not offer Alonso a contract at all.
Oh, they didn't even see that. I did not know. They didn't even offer a contract. Nothing.
They offered yesterday, I think, is more of a shock with Diaz leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And that stung for me more because I thought they would bring back Diaz more than Alonso.
Right.
Last year, I expected Alonso to be his last year. Good year, opt out, and there's just a lot of stuff. And to be honest, to my fellow Mets fans in the chat, I'm going to say this bluntly. 2024 just delayed what David Stearns wanted to do. If they did not make the playoffs, Diaz gets traded, Nimmo gets traded, they let Alonso walk in free agency. They don't bring back the band. They don't re-sign Manaea. It's a whole new team.
Hey, there's our buddy Gary from Long Island. Sports Radio New York is going nuts. Mets losing. The Yanks getting nobody. Alonso now saying, let's get the, yeah.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
I just have one question. You being such a big Mets fan, is Soto going to break the record for intentional walks? I mean, my God, he led the league last year in intentional walks. Now he doesn't have the support. I mean, why pitch to Soto?
That's true. But that's on the other teams to intentionally walk him. And very few guys get intentionally walked. Now, Soto gets walked, but not intentionally walked. Like,
yeah.
He's just very good. But remember, this year you got the whole new strike zone with the framing and everything.
Right.
So that's going to change a lot of stuff. Yeah. Listen, I'll say this. David Stearns, now you're front and center. Now you got the spotlight. You've wanted to rebuild. No, I don't want to say rebuild. You've wanted to change this roster. Now it's your turn to make the roster a David Stearns roster. You came in here with a lot of contracts. You got rid of one of the contracts, which I didn't think you would get rid of, and that's Brandon Nimmo. A guy 32 with neck issues and plantar fasciitis and doesn't have the arm to throw out base runners from the outfield and has 5 years left. I did not see another team wanting to do that. And like that, there was only 3 trades you do with Brandon Nimmo. The deal they made with Marcus Semien, taking on a shorter term of years, but big money still left on the deal. Or you pay it down to get something in return. Or you give up a top prospect to a team, like, let's say Brandon Nimmo and Jet Williams go to the Angels just to get rid of Brandon Nimmo's salary.
Right.
Like, that's the 3 types of deals you're doing with that type of player on that type of contract.
And let me ask you, were Mets fans expecting Alonso? I mean, because I know there was like some back and forth on whether or not, the Mets really wanted him or not. But was there a feeling among Mets fans that, hey, we want to have the polar bear back?
Majority of Mets fans wanted Pete back.
They did. What were they looking at? I mean, as far as fans, we sit here and talk about different contracts. What was the roundabout? Was it like 4 or 5 years? Was it going to break 100?
Some people, because Steve Cohen, the richest owner in baseball, just give Pete whatever he wants. I want Mets fans to recognize this. Pete's not here just because of David Stearns. Pete's not here because of Pete. When Billy Epler was in charge in 2023, he gave Pete Alonso a 7-year extension while we still had club control over him. Pete Alonso turned it down. And then, when he got closer to free agency, what did he do? He fired his then agent and hired Scott Boras.
That's right. I forgot. He got rid of his guy and got on board with Scott Boras. Interesting. Hey, Senior's chiming in. What do you think about this? The Mets are broken. Toxic over there. Would you agree? First off, are they broken? And secondly, is it toxic?
I think
he's talking about the Lindor factor. That's why I think he's going.
I think Lindor, Pete, a lot of those guys were a part of the problem. Another problem that needs to get off my goddamn roster is Jeff McNeil. Trust me, I don't want you guys to get him. I'll tell you this right now. He doesn't care about baseball. He has a miserable smug on his face all the time. When he talks about golf, he cares. He loves golf more than baseball.
Oh, wow. Is it being blown out of proportion? Because I don't know. Was that being blown out of proportion, or is that legitimate stuff?
Lindor and McNeil don't like each other. I'm not going to say they hate each other.
Gotcha.
They don't like each other because they've had so many incidents. They had the rat and raccoon incident.
Yeah.
And then on Apple TV this year against the Phillies, McNeil made 2 lazy throws to Lindor.
Good Lindor trying to turn a double play.
That should have turned a double play. And you could tell Lindor's body language. He was not happy.
Yeah. What's up, Vintage Oddball Cards, guys? I think he has a YouTube channel, right? Vintage Oddball Cards. Make sure you check him out. Haven't seen you in the chat in a little while. Good to see you back there. Says, you think the Mets have problems. The Giants' big signing is a backup catcher. Nothing like 2 catchers that can't hit. Vintage, we will be getting back to that here shortly. We're just kind of talking about what's going on with the Mets, and since that was the big news today, man. David wants to know why McNeil is because he's still under contract for 2 more years, right?
Yes, yeah, he's making $15 million. I think there's a club option after this year. I'll double check right now. But he got, after he won the batting title, he got a contract, and that was Mr. Billy Epler. But listen, Diaz for me stung more than Alonso because I expected Alonso to leave for the year he had, and I just think being out on the market last year and like the Mets not coming to him until it came to like the spring training, like a lot of teams do, especially having the qualifying offer on him that I think a lot of teams stayed away from last year from him, where he felt disrespected. He felt more disrespected by us not talking to him until our fan fest and the Mets fans screaming at Stearns and Cohen.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting because that's one thing about Stearns, right? It's more like he doesn't like starting. He doesn't like giving out those big contract for starting pitchers, right?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go 5 years or more. And I don't blame him, especially if a pitcher's 31, 32 years old. Like, they have so much innings on them. They have so much wear and tear, and it's just like the epidemic of Tommy Johns and elbow injuries and lat injuries now in day and age. Like, are you really going to get your money's worth from a starting pitcher's contract?
Yep. Now let me ask Lou. You were pretty good at guessing Alonso going to Baltimore. Do you see the Mets are? I mean, look, you got Steve Cohen. He's okay with spending money, and this isn't about the lack of spending. It's about, do they want to spend on a specific player, right? Armand, I'll come back to you here in a minute. So, Lou, do you think the Mets are still going to go out there and do something somewhat big?
I think if Boston doesn't bring back Bergman, then he could possibly go to the Mets and play first, of that quality. Boston was in, but apparently they only offered him 4 years and was $75 million short of what Alonso went for. So, again, it's not over now that the meetings are over.
Not at all.
I think, one of the things is usually the big names go, and then usually the first couple of days after, because people have been talking about deals happen. And then Armand brings up a good point. We did the same thing with Chapman. We signed him, I think, the first week of March, and then we signed Snell almost like 3 days later. It was like March 10th. So, you can still get guys, but the problem is there are so few guys left. To give you an example, the Mets obviously lost their closer. There's been 8 bullpen arms have been signed. 7 of them very reasonable. The next 8, probably 2 of them are reasonable. Now you're getting to the point where do you want to spend $25 million, $20 million on a closer? That's where I thought the Giants were sort of dumb because, you had 8 relievers. We know we need bullpen help. Guys are going for $7 million. Guys are going for $8 million. That's fine. It's not like Diaz that signed for $23 million, but, there's not too many guys of that caliber left. And now if there's only 8, now you have 20 teams going after that 8. And, with the Mets losing one, they want one of the top 2, so the Giants aren't going to get one of the top 2 players left. And, they're not going to get the guy from Tampa Bay because they're probably thinking, well, Tampa Bay, why didn't they sign him for 11? And again, you take him away. Now you have 4 guys left, and everyone needs bullpen help. Let's put it that way. I mean, everyone needs help in the bullpen. But when you think of the Giants, we probably have 3 or 4 arms that we need. We're not going to sign all of them, and it's just frustrating. To tell you the truth, today, the Giants, very frustrating, and I'll get back to Armand, is, we made a trade for a AAA guy from the A's nobody cares about. In fact, some people thought we bought what's-his-name back. Is that the guy's dad or whatever, since it's a similar last name?
Yeah, Susac.
Right?
Yeah.
Susac. The other thing is, to make things worse, probably the biggest announcer that everybody hates of the Giants is Joe Buck. And what happens? His last call was, a great call when the Giants won the pennant against St. Louis. But now he gets into the Hall of Fame next year.
Yeah,
and of course, Yeah, the Frick and the Giants miss it. So, it's sort of a rough day when you really think about it. The last day of the meetings, and that's sort of what we got. We got a gut punch, and then, we picked up a AAA catcher. And as somebody said in the chat, now we have 2 guys that can't hit. But, that's not that common. So.
And I'll tell you what, before I get back to Armand talking about the Mets, the good thing is about the winter meetings, even though the Giants haven't done nothing, none of the big arms have come off the board. You still got a bunch of bats out there. So that's a good thing. It's not like the Giants are leaving empty-handed. There's a lot of teams that didn't do anything, and we're going to have time to go out there and do something. Now, and I talked about this at the top of the show. We'll get into this a little bit later. Sounds like the Giants might be in on a trade talk with Peralta. You know how that is. They're always in, but can they get the deal done? That's going to be the question. We'll get more into that here shortly. Armand, who's going to be a first baseman in the? Are you going to go out there and find somebody, or is it going to be Vientos over there at first base?
I wish I could tell you I knew 100% what the plan is with Stearns and stuff. I really wish I could, because all the reports are now he's just been offering 3-year deals. He offered Kyle Schwarber 3 years.
That sounds just like Farhan Zaidi. Dude, Gary, I saw you. I saw his tweet. He goes, Stearns is like Farhan Jr. That's all Farhan did. Remember that, Lou? 3-year deals all over the place. The only thing he did was in the beginning of his tenure, they extended Webb for 5. But as far as free agents are concerned, 3 years, man. That's it.
I don't know if that has to do with the lockout that's going to happen after next season. Because so before Cohen texted John Heyman,
you might get Dom Smith.
We had him already. We drafted him. No, and actually,
dude.
There's a report, just to give everybody a heads up. There's a report from John Denton of MLB.com, and it started making traction. The Mets have talked to the Cardinals about first baseman Wilson Contreras.
Really?
So that is a possibility. He has 2 years left. I think Stearns is trying. I think he wants to develop the kids that he has in the system, and wants. Okay, as a DH, fine, but I got Vientos unless he gets traded.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Dom Smith, we saw him here in San Francisco. That guy has a glove, dude. And he is, I'm telling you, his bat.
Would it shock me? No. Would it shock me? No.
You would not be, I'm telling you would not be disappointed with Dom Smith. I want the Giants to bring him back.
I've had him already. I've been disappointed.
See? But you had him as an outfielder rather than a first
baseman.
No,
we had him as a first baseman.
Damn, then what happened? Because he was fantastic.
Pete Alonso happened.
Oh, well, there you go. But his glove was never top notch, not like Dom Smith.
You hit 53 home runs in 2019. What happened?
Well, I get that. I totally understand.
And there was no DH at the time. Remember, there was no DH.
Right. Right.
But Steve Cohen, my owner, Mr. Casino, texted Mr. John Heyman today. Here's the quote.
Okay.
I totally understand the fans' reaction. Steve Cohen texted a post. There is lots of off-season left to put a playoff team on the field. Cohen, you said you wanted David Stearns and the baseball team to make baseball decisions. You let them. You had them do that while you went to make sure you got your license for the casino. Please don't give us generic quotes. Please. I'd rather not hear anything. Because a playoff team, you're saying a playoff team. That doesn't mean you're going to sign a Kyle Tucker. That doesn't mean you're signing a Cody Bellinger. That came out that they're not in on either of them, which okay, fine, you're not in on either of them. You don't want to go past 3 or 4 years. Fine, great. You know why the starting pitchers are out there? The Michael Kings, the Framber Valdezes. I got two letters for you. QO.
Yeah,
QO.
100%.
They'll be there in February while the WBC is going on.
You think, and maybe and that's the thing, right, Lou? And that's something that the Giants have, they've fallen victim to that, and that's why.
Same for Zach Gallen. He's still out there.
Not last year and not this year, but the couple of years before that, the Giants are missing out on, because you miss out on international money, you miss out on draft picks. I think you lose your second round pick. So it has there is a penalty with those QOs. So that's why if you go sign a pitcher with a qualifying offer, the guy better be worth it, man. Like a Framber, if Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez, okay. Yes. But guys like Michael King and Zach Gallen.
I read that you lose a first round pick for Gallen.
Oh, no.
So I said he's going to get the Nick Pivetta treatment. How Nick Pivetta was like out there for like the final 2 weeks of spring training, and then the Padres just pounced.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting. Now, okay, we're going to kind of go to some Giants here stuff, Armand. Giants came away kind of empty-handed, right? We kind of already talked about that, but there's deals in the works supposedly. I don't know where this goes, Lou.
Well, Eric, I wanted to ask you a question because, today the Rule 5 draft came out. And the Giants didn't pick anybody up, but we lost 5 players. I didn't recognize any of the names, but obviously a Rule 5
No, the Giants did pick up. That catcher was awarded because of the Rule 5.
Oh, okay. I just saw we lost 5. Okay.
Yeah. See, I didn't know. Did we lose it? I didn't know whether or not we lost any guys, but I do know that the Giants picked up the only position player in the Rule 5 draft. I guess everyone was picking pitchers. So he's going to have, look, and with the Rule 5, Lou, he's your backup catcher. He has to stay on the 26-man roster. Otherwise, you give him back to the Minnesota Twins. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't understand that really, but whatever. I mean, I don't know. Lou, I have absolutely no clue what the San Francisco Giants are going to do. Now, one thing I will say, it's too early, and I see a lot of it in the chat. It's too early to sit there and say the organization is cheap. They don't want to do nothing. They need to sell, and Buster Posey doesn't know what he's doing. Before we start going down that path, let's let some time go by. When guys start dropping off the board and the Giants have none of them, then we can come on here and start going, holy crap, what the hell is going on? Look, and maybe the Giants are competing for a lot of these teams too, man. There's a lot of teams out there that need to add pitching, right? And then you talked about relief pitching. There's a guy. As a matter of fact, it's funny because I was on with Glenn and Marty yesterday, and I didn't hear it before their show. I didn't realize the Giants were in on Michael Kopech, the hard-throwing righty that was with the Dodgers. I think he was with the White Sox at one time, right, Armand? I think.
Kopech got traded to the White Sox in the Chris Sale deal to Boston. He was one of the top prospects for the Red Sox.
Okay, there you go. And then he went to the Dodgers. I can't remember if that was a trade or if it was free agency. I can't remember.
That was a trade. He was traded from the White Sox because he just kept getting hurt. He
kept getting hurt. There you go. He's a hard thrower, right? Supposedly the Giants are in on him. What would you say about him? Because we talked about it last night, Lou, with the Finnegan. Finnegan would have been, I thought, a good fit for the Giants. He was reasonable, right? What was it, like $7 million a year, something like that? What would you think about Michael Kopech? I know last year it was injury riddled, but he's a hard thrower. He's kind of been there before. Because look,
he's got Giants written all over it. The guy's always injured. He's coming off the second Tommy John. And he just got new cane, but he'll be okay to pitch in June. That's got Giants written all over it.
It does, doesn't it?
It's just one of those things. I think the thing with the Giants is, hey, listen, we're not competing against the Dodgers, but we're going to probably get a couple guys like we've been saying all season since the season ended. We're going to get guys you haven't heard of that are very low maintenance but have a high ceiling, and that's going to be what they're going to do. I mean, I could see the Giants going after someone like Jansen. I could see that because he's affordable, he's old. Oh, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's sort of the new Giants thing. I personally think if they're going to go after somebody, I like the guy that pitched for the Cubs last year. He's got a rocket arm. He looks like he could be something. I just hope the Giants say, you know what, we have a reliever. we have a stopper. You know, we're working a whole season with them. We have new pitching. We're going to make them better because the guy we had was like Jekyll and Hyde. He'd come out, pitch great, and we were all satisfied. Then the next 3 times, he would be so bad that he pitched 2/3 of an inning, give up 5 hits, 3 runs, and the Giants would blow games. And it happened constantly last year. And, you know, I just hope, you know, I just want them to improve. You got to improve the bullpen. We know we need guys that can make contact. They've been talking a good game. I mean, yeah, we have plenty of time. I mean, Eric, you asked me, and I told you off phone, I will not complain until the 15th. So you got 5 more days where they got to do something. And then if not, I'm going to come on and just say, you know what? I don't believe him, Buster. And the other thing, too, is Zach Manea, our GM, or whatever his name
I'll bring
is.
that up.
Tell him to do something first. But did you happen to see he spoke with Alex today?
Yeah, I'm going to bring up that tweet on what he had said. Yes.
I mean, he could be the problem.
Lou, you're talking about Brad Keller from the Cubs last year?
I like him.
I've read that he is looking to go back to being a starter.
Oh, one of those guys.
In the
Okay.
bullpen.
Where is it?
I mean, boy, he was a much better bullpen guy. I mean, it sort of changed his career. But
where the heck is it at? Was it an article? It must have been It must be in a.
No, Alex spoke to him and Jeff Kent. So he spoke to Jeff Kent, and then he spoke to.
Let me see. I can't remember where I saw the
GM.
tweet. I'll be able to find it here.
It was so.
Yeah. I don't want to play the video. Let's see. Not there. I know it's in here somewhere. I'll find it. But
no problem.
I guess that the Daniel Susac is the brother of Andrew Susac, so there is relations there.
Oh, doesn't that excite you? I mean, how exciting is that? A brother of a guy who was a bum to begin with. Now we got his brother. Oh,
family reunion.
Oh,
you know what that means, Lou? The Rogers twins are coming back to San Francisco.
Oh my God! I mean, they just can't. They can't get out of their way. You know,
exactly.
It's one of those things. But
might as well just
let me get to
Pirates. We are family.
Yeah.
Justin, what's up? That's our good buddy in Massachusetts. Donates $5. Says, if you guys get time, is there a chance that I could join for a few minutes? How about on Friday? Friday or Monday? How about that? Actually, Friday or this weekend, because Friday we're going to start going every single day, and I'll tell you why. If not, don't worry. Also, Armand, I feel bad for you on Alonso. Not so much with Diaz. So he feels the same. He feels exactly the opposite way. He likes Alonso, but could care less about Diaz. Thanks for the $5, Auntie, or Justin. Appreciate that, man.
Well, I have one question for Armand.
Go right ahead.
Last year, well, let's go the year before when Pete Alonso hit probably one of the most famous homers of the Mets regular season and the first round of the playoffs. If he doesn't hit that, is anybody even complaining? I mean, wasn't that sort of a life-saving thing where, hey, you got to bring him back because of that?
Yes.
So I just, people forget.
That helped. His playoff run out after the Devin Williams helped.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, here we go. Here's this again. This is from Shayna Rubin, beat writer for the Chronicle. Zach Manasian on the Giants quite winner meetings. Here we go. In quotes, guys. It's in quotes. So this is verbatim of what Zach had to say. It's tough to handicap when a deal is going to get done, but we try to put our best foot forward. Hey, there's Mark. What's up, Mark? I hate hearing that kind of talk. When you talk about putting your best foot forward, I get where he's going, but it gives me those vibes that it's like you're trying, but you're not quite there. I don't know. I could be totally off. I'm just going by what I'm reading. He goes, I think we have shown we're willing to be aggressive. Now that I like. Okay. Again, you can't give away state secrets about what you're trying to do. You just don't. Some things we're still working on. Some we feel like maybe there's a path. So again, it's saying a whole heck of a lot of nothing. And to be honest with you, in the big scheme of things, I'd rather it be that way than coming out and promising the world or absolutely just throwing cold water and everything. He just kind of just left it out there. That's kind of what you have to do, honestly, because you just can't make promises you ain't going to be able to keep. Because
Well,
look,
no.
right? Because you just don't know. Some things work
Yes.
out. Something. Schwarber, right? The Orioles gave him
Yeah.
the similar deal as Philly.
They
But
matched the Phillies.
he goes
Armand,
back to Philly.
doesn't that mean, hey, we made our big move last year
Yeah.
with
The
Devers?
Devers thing. I came on with Eric and Glenn.
Yeah.
I said, don't be surprised if they use the Devers contract as the big thing
For a while.
for the
Yeah.
off season.
Yeah, I know. I
do wonder if that's from ownership. Like they could have went to Buster. Like Buster went to them with Rafi, and they said, if we're taking on his contract, we're not going to give out another big contract in the off season.
Yep.
We'll monitor the off season and see what we can do.
Yeah, because
Hold
really
out
we
players for
have
spring training.
we have literally 4 big fat contracts that we can't really get rid of, and that's just how it is. The only thing is, and I don't know if you saw it, but at the end of the season press conference, Buster got on and said, listen, the fans deserve better. We're going to be better defensively. We're going to get better pitching. The fans deserve it, and we're going to come through. But now you hear our GM, who reports to Buster, saying something a little bit different. And that's sort of what gets me upset, because the year before, we had Chapman, the last day of the season, took the mic and said, listen, we're going to make the playoffs. I guarantee it. I've been talking to people. That's what he tells the fans. So, it's just one of those things where the Giants are starting to get known where we talk a lot, but we're just not following through. And, that's Farhan was one of those. But that's, Eric
I
brings up a
think
good
that's
point.
just that for me. That's baseball in general. You could
In
go
general,
watch-
yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
It's baseball in general. And this comes from ownership and I'll say so, front offices that have a lot of puppets in them. They love to hear positive stuff. Like when we say they love to tell their media people we're interested in this player, even though internally they're not interested in that player. They want to get the fans, the casual fans, not smart, diehard, passionate fans like us that are going to know the bull crap. They're interested in Kyle Schwarber. Oh, man, if they get him, I'm going to go to a game. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear Cincinnati Reds? They said they offered that contract specifically for ticket sales, supposedly. I saw that on, I think it was on Foul Territory.
Of course.
Yeah, that was specifically.
Yeah, because you know why? Because you know what it did for them? You know what it was? I'm Kyle Schwarber. I'm from Middletown, Ohio. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan. I grew up a Reds fan.
Yeah.
That's what was going to be sold for them. That's what it was. And you know what would have happened? Let's say he did go to Cincinnati. Let's say it's a 5-year. Let's say it's the same deal Philly gave him, 5 years. Let's say the first 2 years of the deal, they don't make the playoffs. They're trading him.
Yeah. Good point.
Because they would have gotten 2 years of asses in seats.
You know what? I'll tell you what, though. There's one organization that doesn't screw around, and they mean business. And that's Giant Sports Talk Live.
Christmas returns to Giant Sports Talk Live. Ho, ho, ho. Be watching Giant Sports Talk Live for the 12 days of Giant Sports Talk Christmas. We'll announce one qualifier each night for 12 days, and on Christmas Eve, we'll draw for a grand prize of a Giants game day experience with Glenn, Eric, and Lou Marsden, which includes front row dugout seating and refreshments, and a bonus prize of a Will Clark autographed team helmet. To qualify, simply be watching Giant Sports Talk Live and pick a number between 1 and 12. Then on Christmas Eve, Santa's elves, Glenn and Eric, will randomly choose the grand prize winner. The 12 days of Giant Sports Talk Christmas on Giant Sports Talk Live. Brought to you by Tommy's Mexican Restaurant, where it's always a festive time of year. Giant Sports Talk Live, a Northern Lights Entertainment broadcasting station.
Yeah, there we go. It's that time of the year. 12 days of Christmas. Right on. Again, I got to give a shout out to Ibrahim. Ibrahim donated that helmet to me that we're going to give away as part of the prize. So, hey, give a round of applause to Ibrahim out there, too. So he's also a big Giants Sports Talk Live contributor, so we appreciate what he does. Lou, if it wasn't for Lou, well, we wouldn't have those tickets. That was a photo that I took from the seats that you would be able to sit at. That's going to be freaking awesome. And let's not forget our sponsor, Tommy's Mexican, over in San Francisco, home of the Tommy Margarita. It's world famous, guys, by the way. Just so you guys know, if you guys are into margaritas, guess what? That's the place to go. A matter of fact, the owner, right, Julio, he is a judge. A matter of fact, he's like the top judge of when they judge tequila. So there you go. You guys, you will not be disappointed if you go and visit Tommy's Mexican over there on Geary in San Francisco. So again, we're going to do this again. It's a lot of fun. And there's going to be 12 winners. And we're going to start that on Friday. So what we do is we'll come on and there's going to be a secret word. If anyone says the secret word and the first person we see it, well, guess what? You get to pick a number, 1 through 12. And then on Christmas Eve, we will draw one of those numbers and see who wins both the tickets and the helmet.
And Armand, this is the first time I'm going to experience it. So it could be anything. It could be your name. It could be salty. It could be anything. So nobody knows. And I saw it from like last year. One guy, like the first 5 minutes got it. And then like the next 2 days, it came to the very end. Like they had to give them clues. So it's one of the, and you know, it's just one of those things, trying to give everybody a chance.
It's awesome, man. It really is. It's a good time. It's fun. Rob C., he won it last year, but he had some medical issues, so he couldn't attend a game this previous season. But he did get his Barry Bonds jersey, so that was nice. Matter of fact, Rob C. won stuff all over the place. So
I remember that. Man,
that's incredible. Let's see. One of the secret words will not be Rob the Four. I see you, Rob. I see you, Rob. That will not be one of the secret words. Anyways, here we go. So Lou mentioned to Eric, nothing on the field to make you smile, but in 2027 years of the Giants in Cooperstown. Yeah. Buster, Bochy, and Baker, they will all be in the hey, who knows? Maybe Kruk and Kipe get the nod next year and go in as a duo next year. Right? Maybe.
Do you think Dusty would go? Dusty would go? Or do you think it's going to take a while? What do you think, Armand? Is he a Hall of Fame, obviously, as a manager? I mean, I know he won with Houston, but that was sort of a unique situation. He didn't win with the Giants. I'm just asking, outsider, do you think Dusty Baker belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, just because I think there's so many people in there that are debatable.
Okay.
That it's like I think he's going to get in.
Okay, I mean, the other two are obvious in my mind, but just thought I'd ask.
I think
the World Series with Houston pushed him into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Yep, exactly.
I wonder if fans are going to go if there's a lockout in 2027, because that will be something. You know,
I don't know what's going to happen. I tell you what. No, I'll tell you what it is, man.
What do they say in New York? Because we talk about that, and we say sometimes some of these people don't want to do the 4-year deal because of the lockout, and it's going to be
the
money.
Lockout's not really talked about. Like, I don't know if you read Passan's top 25 trade candidate article, but when I mean read it, I mean really read it. Like, just don't look at the guys that are like where they're ranked.
Yeah.
So I took a screenshot of this. This is under Pablo Lopez. Similar to Joe Ryan, he is eligible for free agency after the 27 season. Mm-hmm. And with the coming expiration of the collective bargaining agreement, teams are pricing in the potential of lost games in the 27 season to any trade offer, making deals for players with 2 years of control particularly tricky. So I have stated, Lou, I believe the whole 27 season is going to be gone. So if you were to trade for a player like Pablo Lopez or even a guy like Joe Ryan, you're trading 2 years of control. You essentially are only going to get 1 year of starts because their contracts, their control does not get frozen. So that's why I think Minnesota is not trading Lopez. Like they want to build around him. Right. I don't think they're getting the offers they will.
It's possible. Maybe that's a great
Even though that
possibility.
ownership group
Absolutely.
has a $5 million debt issue.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous, right?
They came out
Absolutely
and said that in an interview in a newspaper. Oh, it's $500 million. Because it was first speculated to be $400 million. No, they came out themselves, the poll ads, and says it was $500 million.
Oh man, that's just ridiculous. Wow.
So that's something I wish Passon would go on shows and talk about, like, hey, the collective bargaining agreement with guys with 2 years of control, like, you're going to lose them no matter what, even if games are not played. So if the whole season's missed, Joe Ryan will give Giants, Mets, Yankees, you're trading 2 years of him, but you're only getting 1 year of starts for him. That's how I'm taking that, and I wish that would pick up steam.
Yep. Insane. Yeah. It looks like that story may not have much validity to it. The guy, what's that? Pingalore, whatever. The guy from KTLA, sounds like it wasn't much of anything, which is good. Thank God. But you know what? I still think
until Scooble is traded to another team not named the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's good. And he's signed to an extension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And I want to bring up one thing, guys. I want to bring up one thing. I think this needs to be acknowledged. And look, we come on here and we give our opinions and our takes and all this other stuff. And sometimes they're outlandish, sometimes they aren't. But one thing I will not do, and again, it's just me. Look, if I disagree, I'll tell you I disagree. But one thing I won't do is I'm not going to come on here and call names. That's just not what I do, guys. And I think you guys know me better than that. I don't come on and call names. And it sucks because, I saw Dan over on NorCal, coming on talking, mentioning our name without saying our name. And it's like, come on, let's not go down that path again. We went through that last year, and it's like, come on, I thought we buried the hatchet, and we're not going to do that kind of stuff. There's no reason to go out there and start saying anything. And yes, you did acknowledge that you make some outlandish remarks as well, but we don't go on here. We don't come on here and go, hey, you know what this person said on that station is just crazy. And it's like, whatever, man, leave it the way it is. We'll respect what you have to say. As a matter of fact, both Glenn and Lou speak pretty highly of you. When you say something that they agree with, or if they don't agree with, they'll come on here and they'll say, hey, yeah, that was a good idea by Dan, or hey, that was kind of a shitty idea by Dan, without saying shitty. You know what I'm saying? You may not just disagree, but come on, let's not do that again. Come on,
we're all here just
guys.
for fun.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's baseball.
We're not
talk.
on a radio station. We're all for fun.
No. Yeah, right. Exactly. This isn't FM radio where we're going to go out there and dog people. And it's about having fun. We're a community, right? We're talking baseball. But the problem is some people want to make it about life and death. And it's not life and death. And thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. It's baseball. It's supposed to be fun. And look, do we get heated? Absolutely. Do we all want the team to be better? Absolutely. Do we all have different directions of how we should do that? 100%, right? I'm on here, and have I talked about wanting to trade Eldridge? Yep. Has there been people in the chat who say absolutely not? Yep. But guess what? It doesn't. At the end of the day, I'm waking up the next day, and I got a pretty good life, right? It's not going to affect my life one way or another, right, Lou? You're waking up every day. You're going to work. You're taking care of business. So
yeah, Eric, as our friend Marty Lurie, when he comes on and when he does his show, it
Great
says
guy.
Talking Baseball, Giants by the Bay, and that's what
100%.
it's all about. Now, again, our job would be easier if the Giants were more successful, and Armand if the Mets were more successful, but we're still talking about them because we love the sport. It's not like football where it's only basically 17 weeks in the playoffs. This is a grind. You have to love a sport to talk about it all year. The one thing is, to me, is maybe because the bowl games aren't the same anymore. You had the playoffs. Once the Super Bowl is over, you start getting the itch. You miss watching 5 to 7 games a week. You miss finishing work, turning on the channel, going, watching the Giants, going to the game itself, the hot dog smell, the smell of the ballpark. It's different. You go to a Niner game, it's not the same smell as a Giant game. It's the same
It's
thing
different.
if you go to a Sharks game. It's different. And then just the aroma, the air, and then the game itself. And I think what's so cool about everything is when you go to a game, it doesn't matter if you go to a Mets game or a Giants game, you're all one family for that 2 hours and 25 minutes. And then you leave. But you know what's amazing is you could be heartbroken, but you come back the next day. It's not like a relationship where you're married to, but that's what makes baseball so unique.
And to add on to that, Lou, I'll tell you another thing, a beauty about baseball, and I've talked about this before. What's up, Benji? Benji, man, he's a Dodger fan, but he's been loyal here. Sometimes he's not here every day, but the guy is freaking awesome. Honestly, Benji is a freaking awesome dude. I appreciate you, Benji. Mad skills. I love this. Let's all wake up every day and pinch excellence. I love it, dude. Dude, I like that. That is freaking awesome. But to your point, Lou, one thing I love about baseball is it transcends everything. It transcends politics. It transcends religion. Right? Because we all could come together and go, you know what? Let's go root for our San Francisco Giants. From Armand, let's go root for our New York Mets. Right? That's what it's about.
Be like the Pope, who's a White Sox fan.
Thank you. Right. Oh, he's awesome. Did you see? There's a guy. Oh, it was awesome. He was in his Pope mobile in the Vatican, right? And he's driving along, and someone said, "Go Cubs!" And he turns around and says, "You lost." That was awesome. How awesome is that? You got the Pope calling you out, man. That's just awesome, dude.
When the White Sox won the draft lottery, people were like, "It's because of the Pope." Like,
Of course, right?
Yeah.
But it's and then that's the beauty, man. There's times when I'm going to games, and I had the pleasure last year, man. I went to I think I went to 5 games last year. And I'm always just talking to people. I don't care where you're from and who you are or what you're about. Let's go Giants, man. That's what it's supposed to be about. And then again, like I said, we could all agree to disagree on the direction of how the Giants should go. But that's okay. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about wanting the Giants.
The one direction everybody wants their team to go is to win.
Yes. Oh, man. Don Michio. I love this. Yes. Nothing more can galvanize a community than our local sports teams, right? And Blue, I think you've talked about it before, right? The Giants have always been in San Francisco. They are San Francisco's team, right?
And you see it with the colors. You see the colors. You know, you walk around San Francisco, you know, I know on Sundays you might see the jersey, but you see everybody else walking around probably 10 months of the year. It's raining, it's cold. Everyone's got the Giants gear on. They're all getting fired up.
100%. 100%. Yes.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good
100%.
Comment. Where else would you give a high five to a total stranger?
To a total stranger.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. When I'm out and about and I see someone with a Giants hat, first thing I say, go Giants. I was in the other day, man. Saw a guy with a Giants hat. I had my Giants sweater. Go Giants. And he pointed to his hat. We're like, yeah, buddy. You know, it's fun. I don't know who the hell that guy is. I saw a guy yesterday with an A's hat, and I started chatting him about the A's and what did he think about the A's. And it's just, I love doing that. So it's, for me, I just get such a joy being able to talk to people about the game that we love, man. It's just so much damn fun. Look, and I've said this a million times, but it deserves to be repeated. Lou, would I've ever met you if it wasn't for Giants content on YouTube?
No.
Armand, a good friend in New Jersey, would have never met a Mark out there. Benji, man, I can name them all. Kyle McKiernan. I met Kyle to go see the big boy locomotive in Roseville, right? Would I have been able to do that if it wasn't for freaking social media and YouTube and Giants talk? No.
And Eric, how about when you guys had your pregame before we all met, and you know, we sat in my seats. I mean, first time I met you, but you guys had a great crowd. We're probably like 50, I believe, at Longbridge Pizza. You know,
oh, that was so much fun.
All took the trolley to the statue.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And what did Glenn do? We met some new friends. Gosh, we didn't get their contact information, but it was a guy and his son. He was dressed up in his Harry Potter outfit because it was Harry Potter night that night. Yeah. Had his wand and hey, Glenn's, hey, can I borrow your wand? And he did a little hocus pocus. Next thing you know, freaking Flores hits a home run in the game. I mean,
and he was wearing Flores jersey. I mean, everything happens for a reason. Serendipity.
It does. Dom Peralta. Where is he? I don't know if he's in a Dom Peralta. I met him I didn't even know who he was. And we introduced ourselves. The next thing you know, hey, that's how we met, was because of that. Robert Duville, man. I went and saw two JUCO games, right? 2 college baseball games with Robert because of Giant Sports Talk Live and YouTube in general. Dude, it's awesome. It's awesome, man. And I can't wait to do it again next year, when you go to some games, and we'll do a meet and greet somewhere. Maybe we'll be doing it at Tommy's Mexican. We'll have a nice meet and greet where we can just chat and have fun and just hang out, man. Nothing crazy, right?
Maybe some former players coming by.
Ooh, maybe some former players. Wow. And there you go, Justin. Met Justin from freaking Massachusetts. Glad I found you guys, even if I'm not a San Francisco Giants fan. And how did he become a fraternity member of Giant Sports Talk Live? Because of the Rafi Devers trade. If Rafi never got traded to San Francisco, Justin would never be here. It's awesome. I don't mean to keep going on and on, but then this is just so much fun.
And Eric, I think what makes your show so unique, you're not out there trying for people to subscribe because that's how you make money on YouTube. You don't charge a monthly fee. Like, there's a lot of competitors out there that do that. It's
fine.
Sort of amazing. And that's fine. But you do it a way where people know you're going to be able to be reliable, you're a reliable source, you're honest. And I think what's great about Glenn, too, is you're getting a completely different thing with Glenn. He's got the voice of the DJ. You got the Canadian flair. Whenever there's a problem, we always blame him because he's from Canada. But it's one of those things. And I think that's what makes it. Doesn't matter your skin color, where you're from. Baseball is so unique where we're all fans until the playoffs. You know what I mean? We all have that hope. You go to spring training, you go for the party, but you think, you know what? We're still in first place. We're not in the cellar yet. We're not in third. We don't have to worry about the Dodger machine, and it makes it special. And, one great thing about baseball too is everything goes in runs. The Dodgers right now are on a run. They're the big bad apple. We're going to knock them down. It's the same thing, the American League, they don't always repeat. I mean, last year at this time, ask Armand. He's fired up. They just signed the best free agent class. They're all excited. Diaz came back from the injury, and then he had a year where it was really tough on him. But you know what? 2 months the season's done. He's back. He's ready for next year, and that's what makes baseball.
Absolutely, so Rosemont says hanging out with Eric would be cool. Look, there's a couple of guys I've hung out with. Lou. I've hung out with Aaron Lost. Of course, Glenn. Didn't get a chance to meet Chardall. I've hung out with Dan, right? We had our games last year. I had lunch with him. We enjoyed the game last year. That was a lot of fun, by the way. I mean, met a bunch of people. My buddy Los, man. I've known Los for so long, and I was able to meet him for the first time. That was a freaking awesome time. It's awesome. It's awesome. Benji, I've always said this is a channel for fans, by the fans. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? Oh, Rosemond. If Eric was at the UN, we'd have world peace. I don't know about that. Don't put that on me, man. God, look. I like trying to bring everyone together and try to, go forward. But man, don't put that on me. Oh my gosh. Anyways,
it is cold here. It is cold here. Today was a better day than the past 2 days. Like yesterday was like 19 degrees in the morning, and got up.
Get out of here, dude. Get out of here. No, thank you. Look at this. Insane. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. He goes, if the Giants were anything like Giant Sports Talk Live, we'd have won a World Series by now. Yeah, we try. Hey, like I said, we try to just give our ideas, and that's it. And then look, I can't disagree when other people have other ideas, as long as it makes the Giants better. That's all I care about. All right. More Katna. Thanks. All right, so what do we got here? Did show, man. It's good to see you. I meant to shout you out earlier because you've been a loyal supporter as well. I was at Disneyland with the grandkids a couple of weeks ago, and they kept pointing out every single person with a Giants cap. There were lots of them, not even in baseball. You say that, right? Did show. And Lou, I don't know the last time you went to Disneyland, but my daughter, I'll tell you, we used to go when my daughter was, what's up, Demon? Sorry, don't mean to get distracted, but he saw that. I gotta acknowledge him. Oh, look at this. Hold on. This goes. What's up, Anonymous? Every time I took my kids to Disneyland, we have a contest. Who would see the most people with Giants hat on? And no matter the time of the year, each kids would find at least 10. And yeah, we say go Giants. 100%. Dude, Lou, this is no joke. I'll go back to this. When my daughter was little, we went to Disneyland too many times. Let's just say too many times. Huge Disney fans, right? And it's without fail, just like Din Show and just like Anonymous, Giants hats or even just
gear,
sweater,
Giants
gear, whatever,
scarf or something. Yeah,
they were always out and about, dude. And we'd either give the acknowledgement like this. Yeah, just close your eyes, give that nod, give it a little fist bump, and sometimes you'd be a go Giants. And one of the biggest times that I went, I was there in the summer of 2012, and the news had just broke that the Giants had traded for Pence, and then every Giants fan, hey, we got Pence, and they're like, yeah. I mean, it was just it's fun. I love it. I do that every time. On purpose, I wear my Giants hat or gear or whatever, because it's fun because the Giants fans are out there, man. There's no doubt about it. It's fun. It's awesome. All right, let's get back into this real quick because we've already gone about it. I'll go a little bit more.
Eric, and I know, quick, but did you talk about that a former Giant signed with the Atlanta Braves today?
That's right. Let's talk about that. Look at that. Even Ibrahim in the waiting room. And you'll have Shiv to join me. Exactly. That's bad. Look at that. Losing my freaking wrong bite. But yes. Longtime Giant Mike Yastrzemski signed a deal with the Atlanta Braves. 2 years, $23 million. He's getting about close to, what is that, $12 million a year almost. Hey, they like him. So, hey, whatever. I mean, the Atlanta Braves know what they're doing. Anthopoulos knows what he's doing, right? Anthopoulos knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and
plus
he's
that ownership group said they want to have a top 5 payroll this year. I don't think that's going to include what they do just now in the offseason, but at the trade deadline too, because
he's got a good glove, and there's times when his bat will show up. Now, if it's like every day, well, then you're going to go through those slumps. We've seen it as Giants fans. There's times where he'll get hot, and then there's times that it's not so good. But one thing we've always said, his glove is fantastic, right, Lou?
Yeah, but I think what's great about him is he's not going to be leading off. He's not going to be batting third, the RBI guy. When you have talent around you, that's where he's going to fit in that lineup perfect. Yeah,
exactly. And they already they got a lineup. So it's just that's the beauty. You can't have someone like Yaz as your core, so to speak. He is good as a role player. So the Braves have already got
filling in case there's an injury, fourth guy, and
right, exactly. John, same thing.
Yeah,
same thing. So it's going to be interesting. We're just going to have to keep our ears to the rails, so to speak, and see what happens, man. I mean, things are in the works. What's going to happen? We don't know. Honestly, we just don't know. I'm guessing that they're going to get a pretty good pitcher. Who is that going to be? I don't know. I would think that they're still going to get a bat of some way. Who is that going to be? I don't know. I'm looking at MLB trade rumors 15 minutes ago. Royals are interested in Teoscar Hernandez. See, and that's the thing. I don't want to see Teoscar get traded because now you leave an outfield position open. And you already know if they have an opening in the outfield, they're going to probably go after Kyle Tucker. And here's another thing. What concerns me with the Kyle Tucker, is he willing to go to LA for a short-term deal with high AAV? He might do that because, again, if he wants to get that ring, the Dodgers can do that. They could say, hey, how about 3 years and whatever, $35 million a year, something like that. I mean, they could do that. They have the wherewithal to go do that. And it might entice them. And hey, that's the beauty of being the Los Angeles Dodgers. What you got, Lou?
No, I was going to say, why not only take 3 years? Because what's going to happen is you'll show how good you are there. Your next contract will probably be your last big one. And that's when a couple of the other guys 3 years later might be retiring. So it'd just be you and Ohtani. You know, it's one of those things where, again, if the Dodgers do and they somehow get it, they're planning for the future. You know, you got to remember their 2 and 3 guys aren't going to be there in 4 years. They're going to be 4 years older. You know what I mean? I mean, people think, Freeman, my God, people forget he played what, for 9 years with Atlanta.
He did?
Before he left. So it's, that's the difference between the Giants and the Dodgers right now. And Armand would say the same thing for the Mets is you get these teams that sign players specifically for the future because a couple of their senior guys are getting a little bit older. They're not going to sign them back in 4 years. They'd rather them walk. But then Kyle gets an idea of how the Dodgers work 3 years. And that's why you get these guys that could go free agents, but they see, my God, I'm with the Dodgers. I'm in the World Series almost every year. You know, why would I want to leave? You know, it's just one of those things.
Exactly. Let me get the Champ. What's up, Champ? Do you think the Giants signed Framber? I think it's them in Baltimore. I don't see the Mets signing him. And you're right. Okay. Would you agree with that, Armand? You're a Mets fan. Stearns doesn't like these long-term contracts. Do you think?
Not right now. Not right now.
Not right now.
If Framber and Ranger are still out there, let's say February, closer to spring training. Also, remember the WBC is happening.
Yes.
So, are those guys, if they're still on the free agent market, gonna go pitch in the WBC?
Right. And here's the thing, Lou. Let me ask you this, just real quick. Are you okay with Logan Webb pitching in the WBC?
It depends how many innings he pitches. It's sort of bizarre how that works. I mean, I think Ohtani only pitched 4 2/3. Out of like 8 games.
And that's fine.
So it's not like a simple thing. I think he's a guy that if he wants to play, I think he's earned it.
I agree.
Being a fan,
I agree.
I think on something like the WBC that really doesn't mean anything, I'd rather not. But if he pitches and he comes back for spring training, there's no problem. I don't have a problem because he's probably earned it. I think players 100%. That have been around, he's done 200 innings 3 straight years. It's one of those things where if they don't overuse him, then I don't have a problem. And these guys are professionals, you got to remember, Diaz got injured celebrating,
not throwing.
He didn't get injured throwing, so
that's a great point. Yeah, so I agree. If he wants to represent his country, I'm all for that. I cannot. It's just got to be careful. That's all. Just got to be careful, and I'm sure there will be. Let me see if there was another one in here. But I wanted to go back to the pitching, but let me read Taylor Rogers' goal. Do you think the market is shrinking some for top arms with Schwarber and Alonso signing and with both New York teams not wanting to spin? You know what? I don't know. Do you think any of these pitchers will take short-term deals? I don't think so.
Not right now. They're going to hold. Not right now. Like I said, like how every team.
If they hold out until February, then I could see. Hey, how about a 3-year deal with an opt-out after the first, something stupid like that, like they did, like Blake Snell did.
Yeah,
I hope not. But yes, I would love the Giants to get a Framber. The guy's got his ground ball rate is absolutely insane. He would be awesome. But are the Giants willing to go to years and the money to get a Framber? Ranger Suarez, he's got I think he's got like a 50% ground ball rate, which is pretty good. I mean, you want those ground ball guys. And but again, what are they asking? What do they want? Giants are wanting to maybe trade for Peralta. He's not a ground ball guy. He's more of a strikeout guy. But I don't know if it would be a 1-year deal with an extension. I have no idea. But the cost to get him for 1 year is going to be like $8 million as far as money, right?
It's nothing.
Now, what would you have to give up? That's a different story. I don't know who you'd have to give up to get a Freddie Peralta. So there's pitchers out there to be had. We're just going to have to see what's going on. Mets, to your point, Armand. And to answer, who the hell was that asked that? Not Taylor Rogers. I think it was Champ. To answer your question, Champ, I could see the Giants maybe getting Framber. Framber's one of those guys I think that you would be willing to spend that money. Some of the other guys, maybe not so much. But I don't think the Mets are going to be in the play for any of that. A bat, I could see them, maybe trying to get a bat. But I don't know about a starting pitcher.
Like I said earlier, I don't know what the plan is. I can't say I could say right now they're gonna run all the kids and sign guys like Zach Eflin to 1-year deals or 2 years with an opt-out after year one. I could say I know they want to trade David Peterson, who's going to be a free agent. I thought about trading him to Houston for a straight swap, him for Brian Abreu. Houston gets a starter for 1 year. We get a bullpen arm as good as Abreu is for 1 year because they're both free agents after this season. So it's just a straight swap.
Right. Hey, what's up, Fish? I haven't seen you in the chat before. If you have, I missed you. But I don't miss you now because I see you. Welcome to the fraternity we call Giant Sports Talk Live. Does Ramos have much trade value? I think he does, as far as the bat is concerned. He does have some trade value. But what do you get back in return? Is it something that you want? I mean, that's something that your Giants are going to have to figure out. First time! All right, way to go, Vish. Hey, welcome. Enjoy. Again, everybody is welcome. If you're not a Giants fan, that's fine. If you follow another club, that's fine. We come on here. We talk, of course, mainly Giants, but we talk about a lot of the other teams. But, yeah, I mean, Ramos does have some trade value. There's no doubt about it. Now, what do they trade him for? I'm guessing a pitcher. But what the hell do we know? Let's get the hell out of here, guys. Armand, let me get you out of here. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you for talking to us about the Mets, man. I appreciate you, buddy.
Guys. We'll
Good luck
on Friday.
All right, see you.
Perfect.
All right, there was the great Armand. Awesome. That's awesome.
Good to hear a little New York flavor and their attitude. I mean, being a fan like him, he's sort of like us. It's been rough.
It has been.
But he lost two superstars,
They did. They don't look. I mean, are they going to rely on Devin Williams to be their closer now? Woo. I mean, maybe he hasn't, but hey, it's still.
But they intentionally.
New York.
I thought they were going to sign him, and he'd be the 8th inning pitcher. Not the closer. And again, it's a big difference. Again, because you're back in New York. Nothing's easy in New York, so it's
nothing's
just one
easy.
Of those things.
Right. I mean, you're staying in New York. I mean, granted, it's still going to be high pressure because Mets fans are going to get in you just like Yankees fans. So it's not going to be any different. So can he handle the pressure of New York? We'll find out.
And we'll ask that
next
time if Armand's back on about Tyler Rogers. You should ask him, do the Mets want Tyler back?
Oh, yeah. Well,
he was with them next time.
He's probably in the chat. Hey, Armand, does
saying that was a good question.
Did the Mets want Tyler back? Yes or no? Crisis says, what's up, Eric? I'm just hoping that the Padres get at least 1 or 2 pitchers. I don't know, man. I think you guys are shipping some off, maybe, right? Aren't you guys talking about? I saw news that they might ship off. What's his name? Pavetta. Pavetta might be on the trade block, so to speak. So we're gonna have to see what that's all about. Let me see, Eric, 4th round pick. Yeah, that was awesome. Lady Luck was shining on the Giants, right? Right, Lou?
They were supposed to be 12.
12th.
And we moved all the way up to 4th.
That's huge. That's huge. Mike, that's huge.
And we were the only team that actually moved up. The other 3 were supposed to go 1, 2, 3. So, sometimes you get lucky. But hey, in the top 4, does anybody remember who our best guy, who was number 4 last time? He's going to go in the Hall of Fame next year. One of Eric's buddies.
Who's that?
He was the 4th pick the Giants picked.
Oh, was that Buster? Buster was the number 4. There you go.
And he only dropped the 4 because we didn't think we'd be able to sign him. But I thought you brought up a great point last night. With 4th, you can either get a great college player because they're sort of ready to go right to the dance, or maybe one of the best high school players. So that's good news. And
look, and if you go with the high school, because look at this, Lou, they got the Josuar Gonzalez, right? The top international draft pick last year, other than Roper Sasaki. We're going to get Luis Hernandez, who's the number 1 international prospect. And then you get the 4th round pick. So if you get a high schooler, they're all in the same timeline. That Lou, that could be something.
3 to 5 years. Yeah, no.
Right. And look, we want to win now. Don't get me wrong.
Giants are back.
And that's the thing. We want the Giants to do moves now for now.
Yeah.
But yes, the future looks bright. The future looks bright. That's what we can say. Lou, man, thanks for hanging out while Glenn was stepping out. He will be back here Friday.
Hey, I'm excited. New sponsor, 12 Days of Christmas. Friday's a big day.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Guys.
And anybody in the Bay Area, if you guys go to Tommy's right off 24th and Gary, tell them Giant Sports Talk Live. Told you. Walk in, tell them, hey, I heard about you guys on Giant Sports Talk Live. They'll take care of you. Go to the bar, ask for Julio, tell them I heard about you. And you introduce yourself to the famous Tommy Margarita worldwide. I mean, it's that famous. You go to Trader Vic's, they have the drink. So, but Eric,
there you go, guys.
Always a pleasure. Another quick hour and 15 minutes. Thank you for having me on. And remember, it can always change here at Giant Sports Talk Live. Giants could make a move, and you never know. So, but that's baseball. And I thought tonight was fun getting Armand. So, good job. Good time to get him on.
Absolutely. Good show. And we'll be back at it Friday night. We'll see you, Lou. And Glenn will be back with us. We'll be kicking off 12 Days of Christmas. All right, guys. Be good out there. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.